Hey now, guys. As you can see, it's a lovely sunny day outside. Um, I'm going to give you guys some different perspectives of the assembly now that I'm able to keep it in one place and keep it assembled and work it a bit at a time. Now, we're going to go around the perimeter and then we're going to go above, okay, for the flyby. So these are set up, okay, according roughly to the symbology that I've seen. I had to make some alterations to make the system a little bit more sturdy and visible. So things like these bottles, okay, are going to be brought outboard and put under each one of these platforms at their elevations. Okay, the bottles will get cut down and be used for use and placement of these things. The material coming in is kind of preset. We don't know just yet how many pieces we're going to need of sacrificial and how many stubs we're going to wind up left over for each platform. Okay, as you can see, the swirl, okay, comes down this way and goes down that way around the perimeter. The wear holes in the sides of the walls, which will hopefully become evident at some point in time as archaeology continues excavating the ballast out of the system. So, all of the central platforms will get a one or two wooden bits, okay? And now for the top view. Okay, lots going on here, guys. Okay, the snake tails that we're going to start seeing inboard here on these platforms, okay, are going to be wiggling back and forth as the system moves the already fashioned pieces down below and then has them come up and down as we need them with water, okay? So as you can see, it's a double helix, or double helical, I'm not even going to try to describe it. It slopes down this way, slopes down that way. The water comes in at the top, okay, this way, and the water comes up from the bottom this way. Okay, so debris comes down as the bottles or basins, okay, centrifuge basins, as they spin and turn, they're going to rely on the other movements of these pieces, okay? Essentially, we're making pre-gears, okay? So Marduk, the god Marduk, wonderful engineer, wore all his gears that he oversaw during his reign, okay? So he essentially watched over the evolution of his sites when he came to power. Now, as for the site Ishtar, okay, this is an Ishtar site, pre-Ishtar, which means that it's an Inanna site as well for the time frame, I'm thinking. So these guys were long lasted and remembered very well by their peoples for their abilities to make this stuff go. Okay, so the tail formations are starting to come into play here, okay, and how they tunnel and whatnot. Okay, as you can see, we have 3 stones here, 1 stone coming in, 1 roll. Okay, guess what it's going to do? Cool stuff. There's just so much to talk about here, guys, but it'll take days to work it through, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little visual here. These things, okay, oops, well, as it's pushed around, roll on the inside, okay? This is so cool that it's actually starting to come to life without water. Okay, so now the next job is going to be to scale these down to the proper sizes, okay? I'm going to also try my hand at sculpting blind as the Tepe builders did. So I'm going to take a couple of pieces of stone, make my scratches in it, and throw it into one of the buckets and see if we can't get the stones and material lined up where it's going to engrave into the debris stones into the stone to be shaped, following the contours of the stone and following the contours of the lines that were scratched in. Okay, so for example, okay, we're going to be working at this at some point in time. Okay, so what we're going to do is, okay, make all these perforations using their techniques. So while we're doing that, okay, lines need to be scratched into the floor, okay? The reason why lines are going to be scratched into the floor is, one, make more T-shapes, okay, as the bucket wears too thin, or the bucket lid, okay? Extra pieces will be sent to the periphery. The pieces that are shaped into animals or pillars will have some harder stone types, okay, like this one here, but very small, running in the grooves, okay? So as more debris comes in of larger size, okay, it's going to dig in deeper and push the debris that's already on there down and in further, okay? We're looking for wear, okay, not cutting. Because if it cuts, it means it's chuttering across the top. And if it chutters across the top, it may wind up fracturing everything. This is balanced, remember? We're going to use the weight of the stones on top to push debris down and hit those spots for us, okay? Which is why all the contours to the pillars. They're acting as directors for the debris to come down and follow through the system. Once the central bucket is complete in taking rough stones and making them round, it'll dispense them into the other centrifuges, okay, to further atomize any materials that get scooped up by the system. Definitely a lot to this site. I'm telling you guys, this is just